The Alleghany Journal ran into Jeff Irvine, who has temporarily recaptured the Little Brown Jug. Started in 1937. So how'd you arrange this, Jeff? Tell us where it's going to be for the next 2 months.
It'll be here at the library on display at I guess their normal hours. And that way I got it is I'm in the alumni and we're having a thing for this weekend and a weekend in September. And the ladies at the alumni wanted the jug and said, we've never had it, we'd love to get it. So I worked with Tom Sabal, the mayor of Covington. He worked real well with me and the superintendent and her secretary. All of us worked together and they give it to us for 2 months to hold for their alumni special meetings today in September. And we're going to have sit down and work out a thing where we can have it 1 year and they can have it for a year.
Well, congratulations on your success.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for joining us today.
In a state of shock the first half. Didn't do a thing, didn't score a point, didn't run. I had a -4 yards. And the second half, things changed. I wound up with 125 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 extra points.
All right, BC, in 1965, you were a tackle.
I was a tackle.
So they finally figured out that, hey, this guy's got thighs, he can run. So in 66, you did what?
I moved fullback.
Okay, and the score in 1966 was
32,
Clifton Forge 32-12.
32.
What part did you play in that game?
I played fullback and middle linebacker.
And you scored a little bit?
I scored a few. I scored a few touchdowns.
And then in 67, were you fullback in 67?
67, I was fullback, yeah.
And that score was 40-6 in favor of Clifton.
In favor of Clifton.
Okay. Have any particular memories of those games?
I remember David Hickenbottom, I tell you that. He was my cousin. He was a freshman. I remember him and Linford Hatcher. We had a stacked backfield with Johnny Reynolds at quarterback. And Johnny didn't have to do a thing. All Johnny had to do was hand the ball off and occasionally throw a pass. You know, but Johnny was a good quarterback too.
Now, was that a home game?
The last game was a home game. The 66 game was away, and it was 6,000 people back to back. It was like 5 people deep all the way around the crowd. I mean, it was something else. But like I said, I was in a state of shock the first half. So
What do you mean state of shock? What was that?
I had a gun poked in my side the first half of the game.
A gun?
A gun.
Why was that?
A pistol, a pearl handle 22 pistol, stuck in my side as we were going out on the field to start the game. We had to wait for the Star Spangled Banner. The place was packed. All I could see was a white hand and a white gun, and I couldn't even see the guy beside me because the people were just so close. It was so packed. And I was in Linford Hatcher could tell you the story because he was right behind me. I was in a state of shock first half. I couldn't do that. I was afraid.
Well, what did the guy do that put the...
Well, the guy eventually left because we started kicking butt, and he decided to get the hell out of Dodge. I found out 2 years later when I went to WVU. A guy by the name of Randy Flincham, who was the principal of a school down in Southwest Virginia, said that was his uncle. We became friends my sophomore year, and he said, "I'm gonna tell you a story."
He was just messing around.
Hey, he was just messing around. Yeah, he won. He bet $500 on the game and gave 6 points. So that was his problem.
But that wasn't too funny to you.
Of course, I didn't think I was going to live to be 17 years old. What are you talking about? You know, I mean, that was November. My birthday was December 2nd, and that was November 2nd. I'm saying, my God, what's going to happen? But then the guy tackled me, and he spit on me, and he called me a name, and I said, "Oh hell!" I said, "Nah, the guy wanted to shoot me." I went back. I told Wayne, I said, "Wayne, give me the ball. Give me the ball." And I went and I ran over his chest, and after that, things started changing. I remember Joe Kern hitting the guy. Joe Kern hit the guy so hard it just lit up the field. I mean, Joe Kern hit the guy so hard it lit up the field. But I'll never forget that because I walked over my last 2 extra points. I didn't even have to run them. I walked them over. But I'll never forget this game. I've talked to people more about this game than any topic in the last 50 years. Old people, young people, all kinds of people. But they always remember the Little Brown Jug game with 66. Yeah, I'll never forget it.
When's the last time you remember that being in Clifton?
The last time we had an assembly in Clifton, because I left to go to West Virginia, so y'all headed back in Clifton
In 83.
In 83. Yeah, I was away. Well, I came back here in 75, but I tell you what, it brings back a lot of memories. Like I say, thinking you're gonna die before you're 18 years old. That was something else. But this has a rich history. There's no question
I
about
thought
it.
this thing had gone missing somehow.
They had gone with, they had it in storage up at Alleghany High School. All Clifton Forge memorabilia was at the store at Clifton Forge. Alleghany High School.
Yeah.
They had a little special room for us, and they had everything in there. But trophies and basketball and everything.
Wow, this is a classic moment. I don't know if this history has ever been recorded about.
Well, it hasn't. Ray Allen's writing a screenplay about it. He knows the story, and Iris knows the story, and several other people know the story about the gun. Nobody, very few people have known about the gun. That's a story that's never been told. The gun is poked in my side, and I'm telling you, my God, I'm 16 years old, getting ready to turn 17. Man, that blew my mind. But
Remember the pep rallies when they had to bring it back?
Do I remember the pep rallies? My God, do I remember pep rallies?
It wasn't just students, and it was the whole town.
The whole town came out. The whole town came out.
At the auditorium,
At the old Clifton Forge High School.
and they were just jam packed.
That was jam packed. Yeah, old Clifton Forge High School. Yes, indeed. But yeah, something told me to come back. I feel you weren't on time, so I figured I'm gonna slip on back in here and see this old jug.
I was driving careful. Be safe.
Were you? I bet you were. Now I'll tell you something. Now, if there's grand larceny in here over the next month, then don't be surprised. If there's grand larceny, because this is something they take this thing. Yeah. But just to believe it, man, this has been.
Wonder what the original content was.
Hey, probably some moonshine. I would think
I mean, it looks like it might have been medicinal even.
it could have been. Yeah, it could have been. But I tell you what. Little Brown Jug, like I said, I've talked about this more than any topic. I haven't even talked about college football as much with people. They all wanted to know about the Little Brown Jug game.
Historic moment.
Historic moment, yeah.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate it.